It's more of an oatmeal-y, biscuity colour. Comes in the red, it comes in the pink, and it comes in the yellow as well. £5.95. We sell our fabrics by half-metre increments, £4.95. OK, so we're just quilting. So what we're working on at the moment are these two sections here. So that now we have, we're doing those two sections there. We're going to bias binding, but at the moment, or what Sammy's doing is she's quilting. Now, she's not quilting through normal batting or normal wadding. We're using, which you're all kind of speaking to the call centre and coming in to get this. I suppose it's because you don't see it very often. It's Insul-Bright heat-resistant padding. Now, batting. So it's £5.95 for you. You get over a metre by almost just under a metre. It's brilliant. It's machine washable. It's, you have to wash it in warm. You can tumble dry it. You can iron it with a warm iron if you like. Well, you wouldn't have a cold iron, would you? You can make pot holders, oven mitts and casserole covers. Just read the back. And look at the front there. It says hot or cold. What it does is it reflects the heat or the cold away from you. So it's fantastic. And it's now I'm just going to turn it around because it says something else here. Needle punched insulated lining. So I suppose it's been needle punched so that it isn't just a solid sheet of metal from there.
Yeah,
you get loads. Imagine how many projects you could do using that. Also, what we were saying earlier was we made a table runner earlier. If you put a table runner down and you're serving up, you don't plate up in the other room. You have bowls on the table that have come out of the oven. You could put all the bowls of food, hot food, down the middle of the table, couldn't you? If you just put
just use that underneath
through that as well.
Yeah.
And I suppose what you do is you could either quilt the table runner, or you could bag it out, couldn't you, with it inside if you didn't want it quilted or whatever.
Absolutely.
Any project, excuse me, any projects you've seen us do, if we've gone too far or something like that, the shows are repeated on the internet all day long in a loop. But also you can ring the call centre. If you ring the call centre with a question, and if they hopefully will be able to answer it because they've all been trained up by Derek. But if they can't answer it, we promise to be back to you within 2 days with an answer for that. So we finished the quilting of this Insul-Bright heat-resistant batting for £5.95. So let's carry on with the demonstration. So, somebody else just asked about the book. I'll show you the book in a minute. We just need to get to the next stage of the other mitts.
Okay, so we've quilted those two, and I'm going to quilt this in a minute when you're talking about the book.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk today about binding, because
right.
That's the next step, and then we can do that in the next half. So this is binding that I have cut from the fabric that we have over there. But basically, this is bias cut strips.
Which
and
means?
When we talk about bias, it means that rather than cutting, normally you have the warp and the weft, so your threads go at cross sections to each other. When we cut bias, it's cut at 45-degree angle to that warp on that weft. So you can see here, this is, again, it lines up quite nicely with the nice lines, your 45-degree angles that are marked on the mat here. You can see this is a perfect 45-degree cut piece of fabric.
Did you use the ruler to get the exact 45 degree?
I did, yes. I've got a nice long ruler, which has got the 45-degree angle, and my markings are slightly different on my mat at home. So I don't use that, I just use the ruler. But yes, again, you have the 45-degree angle on here, which means that you can line that up. Have I got a spare piece of fabric here?
Yeah. We'll just get the details of the ruler in for you now.
Yeah, it's a nice one. So just get a piece out here and show you quickly. Because a lot of people ask me about bias binding.
Well, only because I'll tell you in a minute. I'll let you do this first, and I'll tell you in a second.
So obviously, normally you'd use your ruler straight on your fabric.
Yes.
And obviously with this, what you get to do is you can line up this 45-degree line in the centre here. This, it says 45 degrees. Yeah. You can line that up with your straight of grain. So for instance, I'm following the lines on the gingham here.
Yes.
And that's at my 45 degrees. So that means that these lines, all these lines, are then at 45 degrees to your warp and your weft. So you can mark up here your first, using a piece of tailor's chalk, for instance. There we go. And then you can move along. Again, this is why I normally use a slightly longer ruler.
You'll have to put blue marking on that piece of fabric.
I am.
All right, then.
This is my bit.
This is my bit.
My bit. So then normally I would measure actually that way. Yes, of course,
that way.
And then you go I would normally go 2.5 to make this one. So again, you can use that as a line, and then you get your next piece.
So you're using the ruler for two different techniques there, for finding the bias and for then drawing the straight line by the side. When I was at college, I'll just show you very quickly, we didn't have rulers like that. You literally had to get your fabric out and you had to match your selvage to your top.
To your straight line.
And then that was your
your
bias,
45
and you then
degree.
got your scissors and cut down there and everything.
There's also a very nice technique that I'll show another day, where you take a 1/2 metre and you join it.
Okay.
And then you wrap it and you can cut straight, and it creates a continuous length.
Well, that was going to be my
binding.
next question. If you need to, if you have a piece that's not, is it easy to put two pieces of bias binding together?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to show you how to do that.
Okay, brilliant.
So if you want a nice long length, obviously, because you're limited by the width of fabric. This is cut from a 1/2 metre, so you do get quite a nice long piece before you get a join. But obviously, if you want a longer piece to go all the way around the edge, for instance, or if you're doing an even bigger quilt, you need to have that join. So the way that you do that is you lay it down flat, and then you relay this at right angles with right sides facing. So it's going to look a bit odd and feel a bit counterproductive, but if I line it up like that, you can see. So I've got a little bit sticking out at either end.
And this is because you can't just do a straight across seam, because you'd be losing the bias stretch of the fabric.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you want is that when you unfold this, I'll fold it back so you can see,
Yeah.
you want it to continue in a straight line in that direction. Obviously, if we join it like this, like you kind of feel like you would,
the cutting, there you go. The cutting mat there is a self-healing cutting mat that you could cut your bias strips on.
you end up with a V shape.
Yeah.
Done that lots of times by mistake, I have to say. So it's easily done. But yes, your right angle join is what you want. 45 degrees. Again, sticking to 45 degrees all the time helps, because obviously it's cut at 45 degrees and then you lay it at 45 degrees to get your joins.
So how wide have you cut that fabric then for this binding on your oven mitt?
This is 2 inches in total. We're going to do I'm going to show 2, like a single fold, and then a double fold.
Okay.
Lots of people know bias binding that's already folded. If you buy it in the shop, for instance, it's already got your edges folded in quite generally.
I always find the one in the shop, it isn't of a particularly very good quality, and it's not going to match necessarily with your project.
Yeah, I always prefer cutting my own. You get a better quality of product, and B, you can make it as wide or as narrow as you like. Obviously, you're limited by the shop ones that you can only buy the widths that they think are available in the colours that they think are available.
Okay. Now, if you're looking at the screen at the moment, a lot of people are asking about the Insul-Bright heat-resistant batting. I'll just very, very quickly take you through it. Mary's got some. Kathleen's got some. Carol's got some. Susan, Julie, Patricia. Hello, ladies. Christine and Bernadette have also got it. Janice. Wendy. A lot of people coming in. Oh, now a lot of people are buying this. I'm buying an extra one. I'm buying 2 while they can get it.
Good job.
You're getting a lot for £5.95 in there. Remember, you get, it's an old-fashioned, I keep saying old-fashioned because that's me. It's imperial. It's 1 yard by 49 inches, which is 1.143 metres by 91.44 centimetres. Machine washable, tumble dry. You can iron it and everything. It's a brilliant, brilliant. £5.95. It does hot and cold, so if you want to get something out the freezer and you don't want to burn, because it's almost like a burn, isn't it, when you pick something up that's absolutely freezing. You can use it for hot and cold. Really, really lovely. It's £5.95. So you can, where's the actual, have you got the actual fabric down there?
Yeah.
Because it's the most, it looks like lame. It looks like a wadding covered lame. It's, you can see it's a needle punctured hole. It's not what you'd imagine. It's a soft fabric. It's got a strange noise to it. It's got like a little popping noise in there, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit like popping candy. We said earlier. It sounds a bit like popping candy.
It's really, really lovely. It's obviously got the metallic in there, which is going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Deflect away the heat or the cold if you use that. But that's what Sammy had. All of that. Obviously, yours will have the corners in it as well.
Yes, it will. I've always got it, not with my big chunks cut
Anyway,
out
sorry, back to the technique.
I've just pinned these quickly to show. So these are 2 lengths bias binding on our 2. So I'm going to show 2 different types on the 2 edges. So this is what we call a double fold. So this is folded in half once already, and then we're going to fold it all the way over. So that's folded once and then again.
Can we see the underside of it? So
yeah, at the moment it's just pinned raw.
Oh, no, as in it's just literally, it's not tucked in edges.
Oh yeah,
it's just
folded in half.
Okay,
so
sorry.
if you've got bought bias binding, you can iron it out and fold it in half and fold it that way. This one it's raw edges to raw edge. We're going to fold over and then over,
yes.
Which feels like double fold. I don't know why I don't know who invented this, but this should be single fold and this should be double fold.
Yes, exactly.
But it's kind of almost the other way around. So that's why I wanted to clarify that.
You know how when you buy it, it looks like that?
Yeah.
Do you never Do you never do that? Do you never iron it into place like that?
I normally don't worry, particularly on shorter lengths. If I was doing longer lengths, if I was going around a big quilt, for instance, I probably would iron it.
Yes.
Like we were talking about earlier, half the work's done for you. But with something so tiny, there's not... I mean, I'm going to iron it in a moment when we fold it back out the other way. So I kind of do it as I go, as opposed to doing it all in once.
Shall I shut up now and let you get on with it?
That's fine, you don't have to shut up. You're asking questions that the viewers will ask. So
I know.
I never mind you asking questions.
Good.
I'd much rather answer the questions so that people can... at home might be going, oh, I don't know, why is she doing it that way?
Exactly. No, I always ask what just comes to mind. Sort of
yeah.
Thing. Lots and lots of new buyers today. Welcome to Sewing Quarter. You're so welcome here, and we want it to be your channel. We want you to ask the questions. We want to do projects and bring you fabrics that you like. So your feedback is always, always, always welcome. So what are you doing?
So I've just run a single line of stitching. Again, I've used my edge of my foot as the guide for just sewing that straight, and then I'm going to pull that forward. There we go. So you can see that. There we are. So that's one edge is nice and neat and tidy. I'm going to do the same quickly on this one again, so we can turn them both over at the same time.
Shall I be getting the iron out?
That might be a good idea.
Yes. Thought that was my job for this hour.
Just whip this down.
What we're doing here is we're doing the bias binding for around the oven mitt, because we are doing Accessorise Your Home. This is Dine in style, but this is in the kitchen. Before you go, if you're the dining in style, you won't be seeing this bit. We're making, you see there, the oven glove, the oven mitt, and also, we should have time to do the placemat as well with a little pocket. The cutlery is not included, just so you know.
So yeah, this is when I would get the iron out. I'm going to swap places with you for a mo.
Okay, while Sammy's ironing, I've got a message from Christine. Okay, a message from Christine. She's saying, oh my goodness, what amazing value for this heat-resistant batting. She paid almost this much for half a metre when she went shopping. So thank you, Christine. You can get a whole bag of it there. There's loads of it. Could you use this to make an ironing board cover? Who was asking that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sally was asking that.
Yeah.
Yes, Sally, you could. It's really lovely. What you'd normally find, I suppose, is you could use 2 layers for an ironing board cover, because it's normally a bit squidgy, isn't it?
Yep.
At £5.95. And as Christine's just said, she paid almost that much for half a metre last week when she went out shopping. Now there is a small queue on the line, I'm being told. There is a small queue on the line. If you want to ring the number, obviously 0800 112 4433. But of course, you can always go on the web to buy this. But can I just explain? Don't go and search for it while it's on air. The way you pop it in your basket. Could we show it, do you think, little Paul? The way you have to do it is you need to go to the web, www.sewingquarter.com. You go to the main page, and then you have to press on Watch and Buy. Excuse me. Oh, dear, I've got a dreadful throat today, haven't I? It's because I've been in for 3 days. There you go. So you go onto the main page there. You click on Watch and Buy. And then you just add it to your basket there. However many you want, how many units you want, whether you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just pop it in your basket. And as long as you check out by midnight, that'll be sent out to you. Should arrive within 4 to 6 working days. And, I mean, it's just fantastic, isn't it? And they can send a message if you want. But if you carry on going down that page, you can see everything that we've brought you from today's show. This will be at the bottom. I imagine this will be at the bottom if we carry on going. Oh, is it there? Is it there? Oh, there's such a big page. It will be there. Oh, I know. We have to finish the sale before it goes on. But there you go. Really, really lovely, isn't it? £5.95. First of all, the value, but secondly, that you can actually get it, because you always think about these things that you buy the finished thing. You don't think about making them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you could now.
I'll put your own away.
Sorry. We were talking about the cool thing I quite like. You can make lunch bags out of this stuff.
Oh yes, because the cool.
If it's got the cool option, you've got that extra. Not just warm, but the cool.
Very clever, because you can put your ice blocks in that you buy, and then it's just
absolutely.
Going to keep it cool.
Or make very fashionable like mug cozies again, because it would keep your tea warmer.
Would you keep your champagne cold?
Well, it would. Oof. Yeah.
Well, there we go. I'm coming round
Wine
to yours.
coolers.
One.
Yeah.
Who's Mary messaging? Mary Kate. Hello, my love. She's just received her antique garden fabric, beautifully packaged. Right, when you buy fabric, right, so if you order some of this fabric, the fabric arrives in the most gorgeous little box, right? Tissue wrapped. That's when you buy fabric. That's how it comes to your house. It's really, really lovely. Okay, we'll do some more bias binding. Oh, are you doing quilting now?
I was just, whilst you were chatting,
No, that's fine. I've got some more messages for you then, Sammy.
Okay.
Jenny has seen the heat-resistant batting for sale out in the high street for almost 1.5 times that much, a metre, she said.
It is very good value, and it's really lovely stuff. I like that it's, because again, a lot of the ones that you get on the high street are quite stiff.
Yes.
Or quite heavy, whereas this one is it's beautifully lightweight. That's why, oven mitts are perfect, because obviously you don't want anything too heavy.
This might answer your question then. Angela's messaged in saying, Sammy, could I make a tea cozy
Yeah,
with it inside?
yeah, absolutely.
Well, also with it being soft, it's malleable, isn't it?
Yes,
so you
yes,
make
and it's kind
shapes.
of it's not too heavy like some of the other ones.
Tea cozy. So many people now just make tea in a mug, don't they? They don't make the tea in a pot. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. I'll just show it to you again very quickly. It is the Insul-Bright. £5.95. Now, I'll tell you the measurements again. It's in Imperial. It's a yard by 45 inches, but it's 1.143 metres by 91.44 centimetres. You get all of that for £5.95. It is machine washable. You can tumble dry it. You can obviously iron it as well. And it does hot and cold, proving very, very, very popular today. Lots of you are multi-buying this. Well, why not? Because if you can see it for 1.5 times the price of that, per metre out there, then you would multi-buy, wouldn't you? You've got some for you and some for a friend, some for a family member. It's always good to have in your stash, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, great to have in your stash. Make lovely gifts. I guess we were saying earlier about table mats and things. Great gifts for new homeowners.
Yes, yeah.
I just think, because it's one of the things that you there's so few options in the shops for things like tableware, table mats, and, there's so many gorgeous fabrics out there that are, available now. It would be so lovely to be able to match it to their choice of decor.
If you go to a department store to look for some table mats, they only have like 4 or 5 varieties. Well, it's like, that's not going to go with their house, is it?
Well,
It'll go with their colour scheme or whatever. This way you can ensure it, especially using the gingham. The gorgeous, gorgeous ginghams we've got in this hour. Sammy's using the pink one there at the moment. It's so fresh. The pink is there on the bottom. Gingham. It's called gingham pink fabric. £4.95 for half a metre, remember, half a metre. Comes in all the other colours. You can look at them on the web, or of course you can ring the call centre. There you're seeing the yellow and the pink there. But it also comes in lilac, it comes in light blue, it comes in navy blue. It comes in one they call cream, which is more of an oatmeal. It comes in red, pink and yellow. So they're the pink and there's the other colours you're seeing there. And then the yellow and the pink are the ones that we're using. So,
right, let's get back to this bias binding then. So I have ironed over the fold, and again you can see. Let's put them back around the way they were. Yeah. This is the double fold. So we've got a folded edge here.
Yes.
And normally what you would do is then you would catch that by hand.
Yes.
With a nice little invisible or ladder stitch down to the line of stitching that you've got from the other side,
one, yeah.
Which is lovely. With this one, I'm going to do it by machine and quickly show you that this is, so you've folded this over, so this looks a bit more like traditional bias already. Yeah. I'm just going to fold this over, and because we've got a little bit extra, we can just fold this over, pin it in place, and then stitch in the ditch, which again is a quilting term.
I was going to say, is that one of your terms? Stitch in the ditch.
It's not mine. I'm not going to take ownership for that at all. This is so we're going to stitch in the ditch, and that will hold the other side in place by machine. So that's a quicker way of doing it.
If you lived in Redditch, you could stitch in the ditch in Redditch.
You could. Let me move it out of the way for a moment, and I'll just show you quickly how to do this one.
Okay, yeah. Because this is more because hand sewing it is lovely, but if you're thinking that they might be going in the washing machine quite a lot, because if you think how many times you're going to get the casserole spilt on it, or whatever you're getting out the oven or whatever, or if you're getting your soup out of the microwave with it, how times it spills on. If it's machine down, then it's going to be more sturdy going through the washing machine.
Yeah, and also I think some people just prefer the look of machine done.
Yes. See, I was like, in some ways, I was like to see not see it, but to see that it has been hand stitched. Just it's then personal, isn't it?
It's that kind of attention to detail.
Hello, John and Sammy, she says.
Hi.
Oh, she's ordered the batting, the heat-proof batting.
Well
She's got
done.
this because she's going to make a table runner.
Brilliant.
With it underneath. Which is, in my, thank you, Jane, my love. In my head, I had like Christmas. I go to my brother Mike's and Julie's Christmas, and they have this really long table, the gorgeous table runner. But then we ruin it by putting the hot pads. I'll stop talking so we're going to see you do that.
So I've lined up my needle by hand. I've popped it in and made sure that you know, my needle is in exactly the right place. And if I just do it a little bit by hand, you can see as I go. But it's literally, I'm stitching right up against that bias binding edge. And on the other side in a minute, you'll see, I'm going to go through it gently. Again, making sure that I'm being as accurate as I can, because the more accurate you are at this stage, the better results you'll get.
Of course.
And again, just stitching in that ditch between the fabric and the bias, so that on this side, which will be the side that you show, or whichever, you know, personal preference, whichever side you like the look of, will look neat and tidy. And again, it's going to be a perfectly straight line. And, you know, having a straight line to follow is always so much easier, particularly, again, if you're...
And you've also got the ditch to follow as well, so it's almost like you can see your needle going in exactly the right place.
So you can see this one here, we have stitched, and you can hardly see that line of stitching now.
Yes.
Let me hold that up so you can see. So what we've done is we've just stitched really carefully in that line there. Yeah. And that's given us a really gorgeous finish on the other side as well. So it's caught the other side in place. You've got a little bit of a nice edge there. You can have that showing, or you can have the other side showing.
So your underneath edge needs to be just slightly further
Yeah, with this
across,
one it's going to be slightly further across, yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
All right, so that's basically how we do both sides of that. You can see that's exactly what that's going to look like when you've done it.
Excellent.
Lovely. So I'm going to, obviously I'd normally do this by hand, but I'm just going to whip it through the machine quickly.
Okay, while you do that, I'm just going to... Lots of you asking questions about... It's incredible, isn't it? Because we had it on the show and we just went, oh, yes, that's part of this. So many of you, so many messages, so many ideas of what you're going to do with it. We've got tea cozy, we've got table runner, we've got ironing board cover, all sorts of things like that. You can see what we're doing here. We're doing the
oven mitt.
Oven mitt. Why can't I remember that?
I don't know. I've been trying for 3 days.
It's an oven mitt. Hold it with it in. Just have a look at this, right? £5.95. Like I say, it's on the back. It's got imperial measurements. It's 45 inches by a yard, but of course that in metric is 1.143 metres by 91.44 centimetres. All of that for £5.95. So many of you texting in, so many of you messaging in, saying you've been out to the shops and bought it by the half a metre or by the metre and paid way more than that, this is it. I mean, obviously not the bits that Sammy has cut out there, but all of that, you get all of that for £5.95. It is, let me just show you, it is like a normal wadding or a normal batting, but it's got this kind of metallic, you can see there, it's got the metallic layer in between. Now, the metallic layer has been needle pointed so that it's breathable, it's washable. You can put it in the tumble dryer. You can iron it. Then also, not only does it repel the heat, it also repels the cold. So Sammy just suggested if you're making one of those picnic bags or lunch bag, you could line it in this, and then when you put the chilled things in, and maybe one of those little ice blocks that you can buy, add it to your order, right? Because you only pay 1p&p for the whole day, £2.95. Right, are you ready to do your next stage?
Yes, I think I am.
Oh, you think so?
I'm just going to actually...
You're enjoying yourself so much, aren't you?
I am. I'm just like having fun sewing.
Oh, yes, we just said that, yeah. Pot holders, like casserole pot holders.
Yeah.
Customer's just messaged in saying, yes, I'm going to use it to make a pot holder. That's like a northern saying, isn't it, the pot holder?
Although all my friends at the moment are really in love with their slow cookers. So, again, you can make
you have to lift the centre bit out of a slow cooker, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Or a slow cooker cover, again.
Yes,
to give that kind of padded
I made
finish.
the mistake. I bought a slow cooker. It said for 2, so thinking it's just me. So I just, it doesn't make enough food for 2. It's hardly enough. It's hardly enough for me, let alone 2 people. I can't have a guest anyway.
Alrighty, so that's your 2 pieces there, and obviously then you would go ahead and finish quilting this piece as well. So we're going to go on to the outside binding now. I do just need to do another row of stitchings. I don't know if you want to talk about the book again for a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Because we haven't talked about that for a while.
We'll just direct them. We'll just direct them to John. Talk about the book. We haven't seen it for a while.
Only because I've got stuff to do.
No, you go on with your sewing. I'll talk about the book. That's fine. Oh, I love it. I love it when do you know what? We had an open day where we met all the experts, and everybody was so polite. Everybody was drinking tea, eating biscuits, all chatting nicely. We've been open a week, and they've sussed me already. They've sussed me out already. This book, right, it was from, we had it in the 8 o'clock show. We've now brought it back because you can add it to your order. You don't pay any extra P&P, right? It's one P&P for the whole day, remember? £2.95. That book is £12.95. Now, what we love about it, it's written by Tone, who is the, what's the word we used earlier? Not discovered, she made Tilda, but she created Tilda. So it's by her, and it's got a picture of her in it and everything. And if we just flick through the book, you can see all the gorgeous ideas in there. This is £12.95. As I was saying, if you're buying a present for somebody, go to the supermarket and see how many flowers you can get for £12.95, or even chocolates. Yeah. Can you get a decent box of chocolates, £12.95? Well, the chocolates will be gone in a day, won't they? But the flowers, they guarantee they'll last a week. This will be on your bookshelf forever, won't it? And then what's fantastic about this book, look at the back. You've got templates for all of the projects. There's over 35 projects in there. Really, really lovely. Gorgeous book for £12.95. I'll just show you the back. I'll just show you the back of the book. Make your house a home with the irresistible collection of simple hand-sewn accessories. Over 35 charming projects, from cosy cushions and slippers to delightful bags and quirky soft toys for every room in the house. And they've got all the instructions and they've got the templates in there. That is a fantastic book to have. Now, people have been multiplying. I'm not surprised people are multiplying because it's Mother's Day soon, isn't it? Gorgeous gift for Mother's Day. Or I've got, a lot of people who know me, I've got a cupboard at home, which I call my present cupboard. Yeah. And when I see things I like, I haven't got anybody's birthday or gifting, I buy it and I put it in the present cupboard. Yeah. A lot of the time I take it out and I use it myself. Well. But this would be perfect for your present cupboard. Fabulous, fabulous gift. Or if somebody's just, like you were saying earlier, if they've just moved into a new house. That would be amazing. Love it. Or they just had a child. Yeah. There's this lovely toy. Look at that gorgeous little toy down there and the bags. Oh, that'd be lovely for knitters. Wouldn't that be good for somebody who knitted that bag there? They are. Those wooden handled bags are just delightful for that. Fantastic. Really, and again, look, there's gingham and there's gingham. Not necessarily our gingham, but just to show that a lot of the household or a lot of pieces that people make are gingham. Oh, in fact, I'm just going to turn it back. The teddy bear, or here, it's got gingham. Oh, that's stripers. I haven't got my glasses on. It looked like gingham from there. But that would look gorgeous in gingham, though. Exactly. £12.95. And also, remember, if you buy that, if you buy that, your first order with your how many new buyers have we had in today? Hundreds, right? With your first purchase of over £10, you get this for free. It's a little sewing kit, little portable sewing kit. It's fantastic, isn't it? You get that completely free for your first order over £10 when you're a new customer. So, don't be doing anything. I'm just going to show you. I thought I'd do it and then do one to show. I'm just attaching these with a very narrow, like 5mm hem, just so that they're not moving about, because obviously we're going to bind the edge all the way around, and we want it to be as square as possible. So if you've got any bits like this bit here, for instance, if I show you, just where we've been sewing it, we've got a little bit extra. Yeah, can you see that? So we can trim that away. There we go, perfectly in a moment if we sew it in place, because it's one less thing to worry about. Of course. There we are. So we're just going to line that up and stitch it. Because again, this is all going to be hidden by the bias binding. So again, the more you can kind of prep these stages and kind of sew everything in place so it's all there and not moving around as you're sewing. You know, because bias binding is a bit tricky. Sometimes, so if you can get it all in place before you start and everything's not going to move around, that's, you know, half the job is done for you. So, if you've put your Insul-Bright heat-resistant batting in your basket, please check out. We've gone into limited stock. Oh, right. Oh, now this is really, really, really important. If you've got this Insul-Bright in your basket, check out as soon as you can, because if you all check out, that's my stock gone. If everybody who's got one in their basket now checks out, the stock will have sold out. The stock, So many of these have gone. If you've got it in your basket, please check out, because if all of you check out, we will sell out, right? I don't want you to go and check out at midnight tonight and then I'll have to find out the details of how it works, but just check out now, because I'm worried there won't be enough for you. I'll find out exactly how it works, but I'm being told by Little Paul, producer Little Paul, if you've got it in your basket, you only pay 1p&p, so you can check out now and you can check out again later. You'll still only pay 1p&p for the whole day. I've got to get a move on. Look, we're minutes to the end of the show.
Oh. Well, that's all right. I'm going to show you a quick tip for corner binding. So this is a nice long length I've got here, so I'm just going to pin it in place around the edge. We're going to use the same process that we used for the first one, so we're going to pin it raw edge and then fold it all the way over. And corners is the thing that I do get asked about a lot with bias binding. And again, it's quite a quilting thing. This can be transferred to quilting as well as to household things and anything that's square, really, that you want to bind around the edge of. And my friend taught me a good tip the other day, so I'm going to teach you now. I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and again I'm using my my foot edge as my measure for how far against I want to do it. Normally I wouldn't leave my my end I'd leave it in the middle, but we're almost at the end of the show and we want to show you how to do the corner because that's more important. I'm going to sew right up all the way to the corner, and then when I get to the corner, this is what again people ask me about a lot, is this 45-degree angle. So I'm going to sew up to the corner, almost up to the corner. So you can't really see very well, but I'm almost at the corner, not quite at the edge. So I'm not sewing off the edge. I'm going to lift and turn it 45 degrees, just 45 degrees, and then I'm going to sew into the corner. So I'm going to take that out and show you. Normally I'd leave it, but you can see there, if I hold it up, you can see a bit closer. I have sewn across here, straight line, and then 45 degrees down to, that's a bit better, you can see the stitching there. It's 45 degrees down to the corner. What you then get is when you do this manoeuvre, which is what we're going to do to turn the corner, it's already angled for you. So when you turn your 45 degree, this is ready. You're going to get a super sharp corner there, and it's not going to be awkward in any way. So I'm going to take this back. Okay.
While you stitch that, I need to tell you something. This has come straight from the management now. If you have the Insul-Bright in your basket, excuse me, you need to check out as soon as possible, because you're not guaranteed to get it if it's just sitting in your basket. So what you need to do, we're running incredibly low in it, and this is how it works. You put it in your basket, but you're not guaranteed to get it. You need to check out. But the joy is you can check out now, even if there's just the Insul-Bright in your basket. Check out right now. You can check out again 10 times during the day if you want. At the end of the day, you only pay 1p&p. But that way, you will get once you've right. It's almost sold out. It's almost sold out now. If you check out now, then you're guaranteed. If you leave it in your basket, then you're not guaranteed to get it. And we've sold so many of them today. There are so many in people's basket, but if somebody rings in and buys one, then you just have to check out. Please just check out your basket as soon as you can. There's not enough. If everybody now who's got one in their basket, when you all come to check out, there's not enough for all of you. Just so you know. Right, sorry, Sammy.
That's all right. No, that's important.
About a minute and a half left.
That's all right. So you can see this is what we've done. So we've done the same. We've started with this is what we did before. We went to the edge and down. So we've done the same again, and we've gone up the edge and across.
Brilliant.
So what you get now, when you flip this round, you get a beautifully neat, once you've wiggled it a bit.
It's the answer to everything, isn't it?
Wiggle it a bit. Look at that. That is such a neat corner now, and you get that beautifully sharp edge there. And then when you turn it around to the other side, you're going to fold.
So you do like a mitre on the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you would just fold it in. And then fold it in on the other side.
And then would you machine or would you hand stitch that?
I would hand stitch if I had the time, but you can machine, same as we did before, same technique exactly. You just stitch along there, fold it and stitch. But that extra little technique that my friend told me the other day just gives you that really sharp, neat corner, which I think foxes a lot of people when they're nervous about binding. They're like, how do I do a corner?
Exactly.
That is how to do it. It's that extra little stitch into the corner that makes all the difference.
If you've missed out on that, the shows are repeated. We're live till 12 o'clock. They are repeated over and over again till tomorrow morning on the web. So you can go and look at all that on the web. Or you can ring the call centre and they can send the message to Sammy. We have to go now. We're coming up with Bunting with Lucy Brenning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a bit of a snug, wasn't it? Right.
The Sewing Quarter is a new, inspirational sewing and quilting channel here to help educate our viewers with some of the best designers in the business. We hope to bring you some exciting demonstrations with some of the top industry experts. We're part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multi-platform company who operate some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our first TV shopping channel adventure with Jewellery Maker to several successful magazines such as Simply Sewing, Radio Times, BBC Good Food and many more. We've been working incredibly hard to set up and bring you our new exciting channel, and we hope that we can help inspire you with new ideas and projects.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, we sell fabric in all sorts of different sizes. Some will be pre-cut, but others will be specifically cut to your order. The most common measurement you'll hear us talk about here at the Sewing Quarter is your fat quarter. So the fat quarter is 22 inches across and 20 inches there. Now that's 55 centimetres by 50 centimetres approximately there. Now fat quarters will often be sold in bundles for you, and they come looking beautiful, all lovely and folded, and it's great for storage because it doesn't look as though you've got as much fabric as you're actually getting. Lots of people prefer fat quarters to long quarters because you can cut larger pieces from your fat quarter. So this is a long quarter, and your long quarter is cut across the bolt, so it's edge to edge crossways. That is your salvage, edge to edge. So we're looking at 110 centimetres across. For those of you that like your inches, that's 44 inches, and it's 25 centimetres deep, so that's what, 10 inches. So if you're looking at cutting your 2.5 inch strips, that's absolutely perfect. You'll get 4 of those out of a long quarter. So you can clearly see the difference between a fat quarter and the long quarter. So this is your half metre. So the half metre is salvage to salvage, so that's 110 centimetres or 44 inches, and then it's your half metre in width there. So that's going to be 50 centimetres or your 20 inches there. Now this is double a fat quarter, so if you have a fat quarter, it's going to be half this, and it would just be cut down the middle there, and that would give you 2 fat quarters. It's getting bigger now. We're on to your metre. Here we go. So this is your metre of fabric. So again, edge to edge, crossways, that is your salvage. So that's 110 centimetres or 44 inches. And then this length here, that's your metre or 40 inches. But of course, here at the Sewing Quarter, we cut your fabric from half metre increments, so you can buy as much as you like. Check out our website for more details.
Look at us! Isn't this good? I love that. Something about Bunting, isn't it? That's just so gorgeous. This is fabulous. This is such a gorgeous bunting. And look at it all. Look at it all. Lucy's back. Lucy's back to show us how... You're going to show us how to do 2 buntings, really, aren't you?
2 different ways.
2 different ways of doing it. My arms are getting tired now.
I know, let's put that down.
We'll just put that there. Because let me show you what we're actually... The fabric we've actually got for you in this hour is this amazing panel. Now, it's sold by the panel, isn't it? It's not sold by the half metre. It's sold by the panel. I just love all the different fabrics because I live in a tiny village and we have a summer fete, and it's like an old-fashioned 90s. It's almost like the set of a not Midsummer's, because that's modernism, Midsummer's, but you know what I mean, Father Brown or something like that. And we have the proper bunting and an old tannoy and everything like that. This, I mean, I'm going to have to make some of this, aren't I now, for it, because this panel is £6.95. Now, obviously, if you're thinking, well, I need more bunting than that, you can buy 2 panels, you can buy 3 panels, you can buy 4 panels. But for this panel, so what you're seeing on your television now, this panel here, 1, 2, how many are on there? That many buntings, £6.95. Now, it's from Macau, so you know it's good quality. Now, it feels more like a lawn than a heavy cotton, doesn't it?
It's not particularly heavy. It's nice and light.
But you want it to waft in the wind,
yes,
a breeze, not
do.
the wind. You don't want the wind in June, do you? But the breeze, you know what I mean? So I love this, but I'll let you talk. But basically, for £6.95, you get that whole panel there.
So you've got 16 of the triangles in the panel.
Yes. It's
so
called the Tea Party range. You can see a Tea Party bunting from the Tea Party range. I've just got to try and... I'll let you start. Oh, look. That's little Paul being artistic first thing this morning. It's gorgeous. I love those teapots.
The teapots are really cute.
It does feature teapots. There's biscuits on there. Hang on, where are the biscuits?
No, there's no biscuits.
There's no biscuits, little Paul. Right, little Paul's telling us there's biscuits, unless they think...
No, there's cherries.
There's
cherries, dots, gingham, stripes,
florals, gingham,
and then lovely florals.
Stripes. There's no biscuits.
And then you've got the teapots running along the selvage. Yeah.
It's 60 centimetres by 110 centimetres, like most panels are. So, how many of these did we send you? Do you have 2 of these to play with?
I think I had 3.
Oh, you were spoilt then, weren't you? Just so we can work it out. When we get to later on the show, we can work out how many panels you'll need to make certain things. So I don't even know how to start.
So I've made 2 different lots of the bunting. One is just using 1 panel.
Oh, okay. Amy, could you pass that one in for me, my love,
that
please?
one
Bring that one in for me.
has got, it's like a reversible.
This one?
So it's just using the 1 panel. So you've got 8 of the flags and they're reversible.
Right.
So you've got the prints on both sides.
Yes.
So if you were hanging that like in an archway or something where it was going to be seen from
not
both
against
sides.
not against
not
the
against
wall.
the wall.
Yes.
I mean, you can if you like.
Well, no, it looks lovely like this.
It's not making the most of it, is it? So, so you can just get the 1 panel and you'll have enough to do the double-sided 8 flags.
Okay.
And then the other one,
the one I folded
the one
away.
you folded up so neatly, but we can just show. I've used some of the solid fabric.
Yes, which I'll show you in a second. That's the flamingo. The flamingo's so popular, very, very beautiful.
And that's
thing.
what I've used
and
for
you've
the,
used it
for
here
the
as well, yes.
binding on both as well. So
and that is sold by the half metre, the flamingo. So which one are we going to make both of these, or are we just going to make one?
I'm just going to talk you through how to make both of them, and I'll make the one with the solid on the back because I've got a different way of doing that.
Okay, then. When do you use bunting? You see, if you have a barbecue in the garden, like I've just said, the summer fete in the village.
Yeah, any kind of fete. It looks lovely on the edge of a table. You know, if you've got a little stall or something, a craft stall or something like that.
But even if you're having just a little garden party with friends around, you put twinkly lights and bunting in the trees.
Kids' rooms, they're lovely. My kids all have bunting in their rooms.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
with their names on.
It was one of the first things that I made. I think it's a lovely beginner project, but it's really for anybody. And if you're sewing with somebody, if you're teaching somebody to sew, or if you've got a grandchild or a child who wants to sew, this is a really nice project to do.
Yes, exactly.
Well. So you get the panel and it comes like this. So it's just that cut long length.
Yep.
And you've got these lovely teacups on the end. So I'm not actually using the teacups in this project.
But can we just have a look at those teacups? Because they're gorgeous, aren't they?
They are really pretty.
So you could, when you cut them out, you could cut this off, and maybe if you do quilting or not quilting, patchwork or something like that, you could use the teapots there. Really. Now, something I need to point out here, and I keep doing this, right? I'm just bringing this into shot. You see all the colours that are on this bunting, they're all listed in the selvage there. It's upside down. I'll turn it around for you. Oops, there you go. It's all listed in the selvage there. So, sorry, I'll just do that there. I'm messing that up big time, aren't I? I know. How long have I worked in telly? Too long, some people say. Thank you. There you go. All of those colours, 1 to 14, are incorporated in this design. So if you want to match... That number 8, you see, is the flamingo. Number 8 is the flamingo, which we've matched on. If you want to match thread or other fabrics, you can do very easily.
Right. So we'll just say the numbers don't coordinate to anything. The numbers that are on there is the number of colours that they've used.
Yes,
just to make that clear.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. So don't ring up.
Yeah, so don't ring up and say I want number 8 because it'll be different on,
exactly.
A number 8 might be very different on another fabric. But a lot of people keep these as well and use the selvages in different things. There's a girl called Emily made a beautiful dress out of all the selvages. She kept all the selvages from quilting, and I'm sure some people gave them. She stitched them all together and made a beautiful, beautiful dress.
Oh, we should see that. We should find that, shouldn't we?
So the first thing that I'm going to do is just, where's my rotary cutter gone under there? Is just cut that off, because we're not going to use it, but you can save it for something else. So I'm going to take the long ruler. Now on the each of the triangles, around the triangle is white. The backing is actually cream, and there's like a white border, and that's your
Can you see that on the telly there?
quarter-inch seam allowance. You can just about see it. It might be a little
See, it's
bit
just quarter
tricky
inch
in
of
the light.
white around the edge here, which you can use as your seam allowance then.
You can see there. You can see it there more.
There, yeah, that's it. Well done.
So you can see that white quarter of an inch all the way around.
Yeah.
So we don't want to cut into
the white,
the corner.
Yes.
So we're just going to trim it and not cut that corner off. So I'll just line that up. It doesn't particularly matter if you're straight, but I always use the rotary cutter and the ruler just for speed and ease.
Yeah. Have you always used a rotary cutter?
Since I began quilting properly, yes, I have. Yes. It just makes the job easy. It makes when you're cutting out all your pieces, it means that you're really accurate. So I'm using this rotary cutter, and they'll all have some sort of a safety feature. This one works in the same way as mine. You just press the button down and pull it down, and it reveals the blade. Okay,
this is the ruler that we're using here. I love this ruler because I don't know why. I love that bright yellow. £13.95 same quarter quilting ruler, 24 by 6 inches or 61 by 15.3 centimetres.
And actually, the yellow is quite important because if you're working on a dark fabric, if those lines were black, you wouldn't be able to see them.
Oh, you see, there's a reason for everything,
yes,
isn't
there
there?
Is. And they've got little black dots in between. So if you were working on a bright yellow fabric, you would still see it because it's got those black dots. But that's great for working with darker fabrics as well. So you push the button in and slide it down, and that releases the blade. Okay. And always when I'm cutting, cut away, and then I lock the blade as I finish cutting. Is that so that when I put it down, there's not an exposed blade?
Is that for your safety or for your children's safety?
Both.
Okay.
For everybody's safety. And there are horrible stories of people
we're not even going to go there.
Dropping them with sandals on.
No.
I'm just saying. So I go like that, and I'll close the blade and put it down. So I've chopped that side off. Okay. So that now goes into our stash, doesn't it? Because we could use that. Well, shall we send it to that who's the girl that made the dress? Emily.
Emily, she's still collecting selvages?
I don't know. Maybe she is.
That's going into the stash. Okay. Right.
And do the same with the other one, because you've got it on both
so
sides.
Selvages,
so
of course.
That's really, because it is such a lovely design. It would be really cute to use in a project, some sort of a patchwork project.
Fabulous.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
That's going in my little trolley back here.
So I've done that. So now, I'm
supposed to do the wafting.
Sorry. So if I was going to be cutting this to do the double-sided one, so I'm going to be cutting out each of these triangles, what I like to do
So we're talking about this one here, aren't we?
Yes, that one. So rather than with a pair of scissors and cutting down that line, and cutting each one out individually, I'm going to cut them into strips.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to, and for me, and I tend to sew at night quite a lot.
Yes.
So my lighting isn't always the best. And the nice thing about this is you don't need to know where that white line is, cutting it out with a rotary cutter.
Do you not put the light on?
You can line up. Well, of course I do. But it's hard to see the white on the cream.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You line up the quarter inch along the edge of the pattern so that you know that you've got a quarter inch. So you don't worry too much about, lining it up on the white bit. You line up the quarter inch line along the pattern of the fabric. So then I'll just cut along there and just keep going.
Joy of the long ruler. You could do it in two sweeps,
it's
can't
marvellous. Well, I'm not sure the cutting board is quite long enough, so I'm being a bit careful.
Oh, okay then. It's a big cutting board, though.
It is.
So you're just cutting along with the seam allowance. So you cut and rather than cutting all the triangles out individually, you've cut them into 2 long strips.
So I'll cut them into strips, and then I'll do the same on the outside, here and here. So it's like 4 cuts. So you've got your 2 strips. So I'll just quickly do that on the other side.
Remember, you get the bunting panel. It's a panel you're buying with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. Oh, that's the panel hanging on the... You can't see all the pattern. I'll go and show you through all the different patterns in a minute. That's the Tea Party bunting panel from Tea Party range by Makawa. And then below it, that's the flamingo. Now, that is the Spectrum Makawa pink fabric. It's called Flamingo. Really, really gorgeous. I mean, you want a joyous colour, don't you, really, for making bunting and things like that?
Yeah, I am all about pink. I love pink. It's one of my favourite colours.
£3.25 for half a metre. That gorgeous pink fabric, which we've come off now. There we are. So we're just cutting.
I just missed that bit. I'm not tall enough, you see.
Well, sadly, that's what all our ladies have said. We had the table raised, and then all you experts arrived, and you're not tall enough.
Yeah, that's it. So I just do that. And then I just do the same going along the panel. So I'm using the 1/4 inch mark along the printed fabric.
This is so much easier than using scissors. I mean, I know you can use the scissors, but
you
it's
can
so
use
much
scissors,
easier
of course you can use the scissors, yes, but it's just quick and easy. So I'll just go down. I do this one, and then this one, and then I go back and trim this one after. Do you see what I mean? So I'm not having to...
Why don't you do it so we can see what you mean?
Okay, yes.
Because I'm just trying to visualise it.
It just makes it easier because of the way that you're doing it. So I do that one, and then, you see, I can't do...
Yes.
So I just do this one. And I just keep cutting, with it in the same direction.
Right. So you're always using the right-hand side of the ruler, as it were, yeah.
Because that's where my measurement is to get that. So you can see I've got that neat 1/4 of an inch away from the pattern. So you're not cutting on the pattern. You need that 1/4 of an inch for your seam when you come to sew.
They've chosen the colour so beautifully, haven't they, for the bunting? It just sums up.
They have. And all the fabrics are really pretty. And actually, I did think, should you not want to make bunting, you could just buy the panel to give yourself lots of varieties of fabric in one. And use it for something else. If you want,
now who's getting creative? Somebody wants to see what you're going to carry on cutting those out.
Well, I'll trim off these little bits.
Oh yes, because somebody just wants to see all the different colours again on the panel. So we'll just cut these off, and then I'll take you to the panel and I'll show you the different colours.
So I'm just trim off the sides there, and I'm not worried about the points of the I'm not cutting off the points of the triangles at this point or anything. I'll do that when I come to sew it.
Remember, if you need anything at all that you've seen on the Today Show, excuse me, you can go to the web, you can scroll down the page of Today's Show, and it'll show you everything that we've brought you today. Fabrics, notions, anything that you've seen in the whole 4 hours today. It will be there. There it is. I'm just going to go and get the panel. I'll bring it back with you so we can discuss it together. So there's all the pieces, all of the notions and the there's the panel there at the top. Look, first thing on the panel there. Everything that we've brought you today that is for sale is there listed. It's like a shopping list listed below. So if you think you've missed something, or indeed you saw something in the 8 o'clock show, thinking, well, I won't buy it now, I'll buy it later, and then thinking, oh, I wish I'd bought that in the it's there listed. This is the panel that you get. This is the gorgeous panel.
It's not tiny like it looks on the website.
No, it's not tiny like it looks on your telly there. It's a full screen.
Big panel.
Right, so you've got cotton candy stripes, you've got polka dots, you've got ditzy flowers, you've got cherries. We could get that for a friend of ours, couldn't we, little Paul? We've got teapots, we've got gingham. Oh, we've got pink background cherries there. More ditzy, more gingham, more ditzy, more gingham, more polka dots. Cherry, then we've got lovely stripes there, gorgeous polka dots, and the teapots is my favourite, I have to say, with that lovely tealy green behind. I'm not sure where little Paul saw biscuits.
In his imagination, because there are no biscuits.
There are no biscuits. He must have been hungry when he came in, because he just had his blended juice for his breakfast this morning.
I think the cherries are my favourite on that one.
Yeah, you're the cherries, I'm the teapots.
My stepdad's football team as well, cherries.
Your
stepdad's football team
the
is
cherries?
Cherries, yeah, Bournemouth.
Oh, I've got no story about them.
Oh.
But there we go.
So, If we're going to do the reversible bunting,
yes,
we need to just you need to cut out all the triangles. So
yep.
I haven't cut them all out, but you would just cut them all out, and then you can arrange them if you want.
Oh yes,
which one? You know, I tried to not have the same pattern on each flag.
Side,
like
yes,
to have
yes,
the different ones, but that's, you know, it's entirely up to you. You can just have a play about and see which ones you want to put together.
Yes.
And then you just put them right sides together, and you just sew down here. Stop with your needle down. Pivot and sew up the other side. So I'll show you.
If you don't mind. What you could do is, if you've got 2 panels, you could put the 2 different panels, cut them out, and then just kind of, because it's quite nice sometimes not to plan it, just have random, isn't it? So if you've got 2 panels and you know you're not getting, oh no, you still have to check that you don't get the 2 cherries together, wouldn't you then? Of course you would, yeah. That's me. I love it. I really, really like all these fabrics. And again, lovely, really lovely quality. Washable as well. It's machine washable. So if you do have a fake like we always have and it pours down with rain at the end, you could just throw them through the washing machine afterwards, couldn't you? I suppose you'd put them in a pillowcase or something to wash, because you wouldn't want that wafting all around your washing machine, would you?
You wouldn't, and the ties, you wouldn't want to get that caught up.
All right, I'll let you do some
So I'm
sewing.
going to stitch down the 2 sides, and I'm actually sewing along the line of the fabric print.
Right, okay.
So that I'm just using that line as a guide.
But because you've cut it out more or less on their seam allowance, you know they're going to match both sides, don't you?
Yes, so you can just use the 1/4 inch. You might lose a tiny. You'd need a 1/4 inch foot, I think, to get that in properly. So, and I'm going to go right to the edge. Oh, I've caught.
Have you got a glitch there?
I've got a little glitch.
See, it even happens to the best.
That. Just need to rethread it, I think, because I went backwards. The needle wasn't.
I've got now. Do you know what? Do you know what? I know this lady. Do you know Debbie?
I don't know Debbie.
This book is by Debbie Shaw, right? I know Debbie. Years and years ago, when I was on This Morning, I used to go to another shopping channel. And whenever they did fashion, Debbie was the presenter there, and I would be one of her guests. This is the lovely Debbie Shaw's book here. It's called Sew Bunting for £9.95, and it's all got different ideas and tips and all sorts of things like that. Look, every page has got lovely images, and let me just try and get it out the light for you. There you go. And different things you can do. There's advent bunting there. There's all different ideas. Applique bunting, button bunting. You've not done that before,
That's
have you?
fun. No, I haven't.
No, that's nice, isn't it? Crazy patchwork. Really, really gorgeous lamp. Oh, you could have bunting in your house all the time. Look, lampshade bunting in there. Fabulous. £9.95. And I've just said I know her. Debbie Shaw's a friend of mine. I know her. Yes. No, I know. There we go. And then we've got that. Look, I'm going to get bunting for my house.
That's very pretty.
Isn't it? Oh, has that got little pockets on it?
It's got little flower, yeah.
Oh,
little flowers.
do you know, I've got a funny, very quick, and then we'll carry on the section. You know, producer Hannah, she's just moved into a new house, and a friend of ours moved in with it, and her friend loves bunting. She keeps saying to Hannah, oh, can I hang this up? And Hannah's like, no.
Oh.
And she, no. And so she has to have all her bunting in her bedroom. She can't put it anywhere else in the house at all.
Just
anyway.
Wrapped all around the walls.
Back to you and your stitching.
So I've fixed that little issue there.
Yeah.
So I'll just do a little back stitch, and I go right to the edge. So
okay.
I don't start down.
You stitch that. Right, you stitch that. I'm just going to try and get rid of my little cough here. So you're just stitching all the way down the side.
Sewing all the way down the side, and you want to get along the line of the pattern or slightly on the pattern, because you don't want to see the white or cream fabric when you turn it through. And then I've just pivoted and just go back up the other side.
Little Paul saying maybe we should have got Emma Bunton to come and present the bunting. That's not even very funny, is it, that one?
It's not, no. Shame on you, Paul.
Little Paul. He's rarely wrong, is Little Paul.
As you're sewing it together, you want to try and keep your fabric nice and straight, flat.
Flat, yes.
While you're sewing it.
Would you pin it maybe if you were a bit unsure?
Yes, you can pin it, yes. Absolutely. And then I'm just going to trim off
here we go.
The bottom of the triangle. So I'll just snip that bit off.
How close?
And you can take a little bit as close as you feel comfortable. You don't want to go too obviously you don't want to cut into that stitching. So
no.
You don't want to go too close. You just want to be careful.
These are nice scissors. Look at me slowly putting them into the bottom of the picture there.
Those handles are lovely.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they feel really
They're right-handed
really nice.
scissors. They're right-handed tailor shears, 20 centimetres, £21 and 95 pence. They're lovely. And I love that. It's almost like not a ceramic, but I don't know what enamel. That's the word I'm for. And that's the colour of my nan's front door, 17 St Mark's Road. She doesn't live there now, obviously. Goodness knows, I wouldn't be giving her address away. But 17 St Mark's Road, she always had the front door that colour. And my brother, all his doors and everything are that colour now. So
and it's nice to have just that bit of pop of colour, not just black all the time. But it's a nice colour for sewing.
Nice weight as well, aren't they? Lovely weight.
I mean, you can hear it. When
Essential
I put
part
them
of your kit,
down,
that. So,
lovely. So I've just sewn those two. The top's been left open.
They're calling you Emma now. Back to Emma.
Cheeky. So we just turn it through like that.
Yes. Can you sing?
And
Could you have been a Spice Girl?
I think they'll tell you upstairs, no, I cannot. I would love to. That's my dream in life is to be a country and western singer.
Oh, is it?
In Nashville, yeah, I would love to do that. But can I sing? No.
No, because there's machines. There's machines now, aren't there? You can sing into in the right notes.
Yeah, with auto-tune, I'm sure I would be fine. Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm just poking out that corner as much as I possibly
using
can.
your Derek the Dobbin.
And then we just give that a little...
iron.
Yeah, we don't...
No?
We don't actually have to.
Okay.
We'll just do it like that. But you would at home.
Yes.
Give that an iron. Now, what I will say is, if you were using it for something like you said, where you're going to be having it outside, you're going to wash it a lot, you might want to stitch...
top stitch it.
Or even about a quarter of an inch away on either side, because then when it's washed, it's just going to help keep that in shape.
Oh, because it might move.
Because it might move. So if you were going to wash them a lot, I would suggest before you attach the binding on the top, you just can do a stitch down and up, and that will just help it retain its shape. When
it was one of my
it.
questions I was going to ask when I saw it this morning. Do you top stitch around the outside? So you haven't on yours.
I haven't, no, because it's decorative.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
But if it was something that you just dust them. If you were going to be, you knew you were going to be washing it a lot.
Yes.
You might want to do.
Or
that.
like our village fete. It didn't rain last year, but after the fete when we were tidying away, it absolutely bucketed down and everything got soaking wet, and you'd have to have put them in a washing machine.
Or just if you want to have a play, if you've got a machine that has decorative stitches, and you just wanted to have a play, you could do a different design on different ones. You might have a nice little flower or something like that.
Doing for a wedding or something like that. Lots of people getting in touch this hour. Patricia's there, Lorraine's there, Carol's there, Angela's there, Margaret's there, Jane's there, Kathleen is there. Lots of multi-buyers of this panel as well. Now, what are you doing now then?
So now I'm going to... So that's the reversible, okay? That's how I would
so
do
you
it
made
if I was
one
going
bunt.
to do it.
Is that called a bunt if there's only one? You've made one bunt for the bunting.
I think that's a cake, isn't it? A bundt
and that's
cake?
the reversible one there. So you'd only able to make 8 from one panel, wouldn't you? If you did the reverse one.
If you did the reverse
But however, if you want twice as many.
If you bought two.
Oh yes, yeah. But if you want twice as many from the one panel.
From one panel, you can get twice as many if you buy some of the, or if you have some solid as well.
Yes. Yeah, or get the Flamingo solid here. It's beautiful. Spectrum solid. I'll just tidy up, shall I?
And you know that matches perfectly as well,
Yes.
so we don't need those ones.
Oh, you don't need those.
No.
They're going in
So
my stash
I've got
then.
the one panel again, and I've just done like I did at the beginning, and I've cut it into the strips. So we've got a 1/4 inch seam on these ones, and a 1/4 inch seam.
But you've done the whole column.
So I end up with 2, and then I've cut it in half. So I've done those 4 cuts.
Yes,
so I end up with the 2 strips.
So shall I move this one away then?
Yes, you can do.
Thank you.
And then I've got the 2 strips of the flamingo.
Right, the flamingo is down here, look, it's the Spectrum solid fabric. Now, if you don't want the pink, if you want another colour, you can go to the website and just search for the Makua Spectrum ranges. And we've got it's called spring green, not lime green. But there's black, there's yellow, there's blue, there's colours galore. The pink one, if you want the pink one, you have to come to the live page to buy today. But all the other colours will be available on the website.
And there's yellow and green,
Oh,
blue.
yes.
We don't need that one. Yellow, green, blue. There's a few different blues in there as well. So you could match that up nicely.
Exactly.
So rather than attempting to cut out the triangles and attempting to cut triangles out from this,
yes,
I'm going to lay this on top of the solid fabric.
Right.
Now with solid fabric, there is no right or wrong in a sense, because obviously you've got the colour
both
on
sides.
both sides,
Yes.
so it doesn't really matter. But you can feel a difference. If you run the fabric between your fingers,
Right.
you can feel that the front of the fabric is softer and has more of a...
Nap. It's not a nap, is it?
No, the back has more of a texture.
Yes.
So you feel more of the texture on the back.
Yes, I'm doing it with
whereas
my eyes
the
shut, so I
front feels smoother.
Yes, yes.
So you can feel that there's a difference.
Yes.
But also if you
That's a
look
good
at the...
tip, because sometimes when you buy it and you get home from the shop, you go...
You don't
"Ooh."
know which way,
No.
and if you've got a fat quarter or something.
Yes.
You can use the selvage to determine it as well. So you know that the right side is where the holes have been poked through, and where it looks like the holes have been
Pushed through,
that's the back.
Oh.
So that's another little way that you can tell what is the front and the back, although it doesn't massively matter.
The bunting panel, very, very, very popular. I haven't got one here to show you. You have to look at it on the stand over there. It's the Tea Party bunting panel from the Tea Party range by Makawa, 60 centimetres by 112 centimetres. You get the whole panel, but if you want 2 panels, you can buy 2 pans. If you want 3 pans, they won't come separated. They will all come. You can't buy it by the half metre. You literally buy it by the panel. Well, you're getting more. You're getting 60 centimetres by 112 centimetres. £6.95. It's gorgeous. Now, Lucy's made this gorgeous bunting out of it there. Now, you can see the pink across the top. I'll talk more about that in a minute. That's the flamingo from the Spectrum solid colours from Makawa. Beautiful. I mean, what they've done is, rather than you go to the shop and trying to get fabrics so you can all go match together, they've done all that hard work for you. They've toned in the fabrics and everything, all on one panel, so you can just cut out on really, really gorgeous cotton.
So now I've laid the panel strip on top of the solid fabric. That's going to be a little bit longer wider.
Yes.
Because we've trimmed off those teacups off the end of the thing. So
for Emma, the lady with the dress. No, Emma, what's her name?
Emily.
Emily.
So you don't want to start, at the selvage. You want to come away.
Oh, yes.
So
Oh,
don't
yes.
line it up with the end because we just ignore selvages.
Okay, yes.
So the solid strip was cut at 10 1/4.
Right.
So 10 1/4 inches is the width of the panel.
Yes.
Once I've cut it into strips.
So we're using the ruler
Does that
again
make
now.
sense?
So we use the ruler to cut it, we use the ruler to straighten the edges, and now we can also use the ruler to measure it.
So I've cut that solid fabric. So
Yep.
I've cut the width of the fabric to 10 1/4 inch cuts.
Okay, 10 1/4 inches, that'll be 25 and a bit centimetres, that's the exact.
Yeah. And then if you using the solid on the back, it's nice to have the binding match. So you want to get a bit of extra fabric in order to make your
The binding. Yeah.
But I've just used straight binding.
Yes.
So.
Well, why would you use... okay. Why would you use anything else?
Well, no,
you wouldn't
I
need bias, would you? Because it
no,
might stretch.
No. But you need less fabric as well.
Yeah, oh yes.
So.
Of course you do, yes.
So now that I've done that, I wouldn't just go ahead and sew. I would pin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not even cutting them? You're not even cutting them?
I'm not cutting it. I'm just going to sew it.
Oh, I missed that bit.
Yeah, I'm just sewing it.
Pat's messaging. She said, I've made some...
I'm not sewing it that way. I'm sewing it that way. Don't do as I...
No,
as
we were
I
more
do,
worried
do
about
as I
when we
say.
were prepping this morning, when we were doing the bag from earlier, make sure I sew on the outside.
Okay,
Make sure I
that's
sew.
not right.
I said, anything about the bunting? No, I'm fine with bunting. Fine with bunting, she says. So you put right sides together. Right sides together. So who made some bunting? Sorry, Patricia, did you say? Tea Party bunting. She's already got the bunting panel. She's made out of this. She's made it out of this.
Lovely. Did she do the reversible?
Do you know, it'd be interesting. You see, this is where, as we become more established, it'd be nice to get your pictures. It'd be lovely to get your pictures in. So you can send in the pictures of your bunting. At £6 and... Oh, yeah, we can have a wall of fame, they call it, don't they?
Yes, and where you're using it as well. I'd love to see where people are...
Oh, yes, like in the books. Like in the books, you see it all draped around the house and everything like that. Oh, not in Hannah's house, obviously, because Hannah won't let her flatmate put in. Talking of books, my friend Debbie Shaw. I'm just going to move your pins over that side.
Thank you. Yeah, fine.
And she's not getting a cup of tea, it's a pin cushion. Tea Party Bunting. Oh, no, hang on. No, sorry. There's the book at the bottom. So Bunting book by Debbie Shaw, £9.95. Now, you all know Debbie. You all know, well, you just know her, basically. Really, really gorgeous. You've got all these, I mean, fabulous, fabulous photos going across there. It's got all basic techniques across there, useful stitches. Before you even start on the bunting, you see, she's giving you all the kind of basics. Like we were saying earlier, it's good to have all the basics, isn't it? Then you can make simple bunting. Oh, I've turned a couple of pages over there. She's got all sorts of different buntings. Beach bunting. Oh, that's square. Is beach bunting square then? I didn't know that. Maybe it's not. Those are square though, aren't they? Oops.
Yeah, it looks nice.
£9.95. Blackboard bunting. Oh, for your teacher. That's nice.
Cute.
Now you could do that for your. You could make that for your children's teachers at the end of the term, couldn't you?
And our children would love it because then they can draw.
Yeah, exactly. So Bunting by Debbie Shaw, the book, £9.95. Add it to your order, or you buy one of these gorgeous bunting panels, right? Gorgeous. Well, I don't want to say it's a lot easier, but it is a lot easier.
It's a lot easier. Yeah.
Okay.
It is a lot easier. So just a little tip. We're going to sew on the line of the print of the fabric, like I did before.
Yes.
And for the majority of the bunting flags, that's very easy to do. You can quite clearly see the outline there, and you're going to sew along that line of the edge of the fabric.
But
this one,
the teapot one,
the darker one's fine, but the lighter one, it's tricky to see the edge of that.
Especially if you're working at night like you do.
Especially if you're working at night. So I can just about make out the difference with my eyes, probably not on camera, between the light and the dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the line on.
Now, people will be sitting at home panicking, thinking, what's she drawing with biro on that thing for? It's a hemline vanishing fabric marker for £3.95. And it vanishes. Within, well, it says on the packet within 48 hours, but we were actually working with the other day and we saw it vanish in front of our very eyes.
Yeah.
It can be removed with the damp cloth. We have another one, the brown one, the terracotta one, which is just removed with the damp cloth. But this one it'll just disappear, won't it, this one?
Which is nice. So once I've sewn on that, so that's already disappearing. It's too hot in here.
Yes, it's you.
There we go. So I'll sew along that line. And I'm going to do that for each one. So I'm just going to pin it. You really don't want your fabric, you're going through 2 layers here.
Yes, and you don't want it to bunch up underneath or to move, really.
No. So you'll see as well, I've just pinned within the flags.
Yes.
Because that's the bit.
Oh, that's what they call flags, not bunts.
That matters.
Yes.
Flags, yeah.
What do you think, bunting? One bunting would be a bunt, wouldn't it?
It's fine. So there we go. So I'm just going to take these to the machine.
Lovely pink cushion.
And just, oh, why, thank you. I made that the other day. So I'm just going to do the same thing and sew along the line. Along the actual
edge of the coloured pattern.
Yes. Along the edge of the coloured pattern. So let's do a little back stitch to start off with.
Also, you're sewing on the bias, aren't you, really, if you're going diagonally across the fabric. So that's another reason to pin it, isn't it? Because it could stretch, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could stretch and shift.
Tea Party bunting panel from the Tea Party range by Makua, 60 by 112 centimetres. You get, how many did we decide? 16 flags was it you get on there. Really, really lovely. But what Lucy's showing here is her little technique that she does when she's, it's the one that's not bagged out like that. It's the one that's got the pink background to it. So she's using the panel of the Makua Spectrum Flamingo fabric, and she's put the 2 layers of fabric together, and now she's stitching through both layers along the edge of the bunting flag.
And I will just say, if you're doing this technique, it might be tempting to think, oh, I'll just do the whole panel and attach it to the solid fabric at the back.
Yes.
But I will tell you, it's far more likely that your fabric's going to shift, even if you pin it really well, and it's more cumbersome to work with in your machine to have the whole
width,
panel.
Yes.
So I prefer to cut it into the strips, and then you can see, and if you cut it there with that 1/4 inch at the top, that bit's already done. So when you come to cut out the flags, you've not got as much cutting to do.
If you cut them out individually, you've kind of, when you cut on the bias, you're kind of releasing the fabric, aren't you? So automatically the edge is going to stretch, whereas they're still contained on the straight at the moment, aren't they?
Absolutely.
We've got a message from Christine. Hello, Christine, my lovely. Bye, Christine. She goes to work this time every day. She videos the end of it. She's got a Freeview player that videos the end of it.
Oh, have a nice time at work.
Oh, there you go. Have a nice time.
See you when you come back.
She thinks what, Paul? Oh, she said she loves the fact she can sit and sew along with us while we're doing it. Because it's a sociable thing, isn't it? So we like chat. I bet she talks to her telly. She's really, really happy. I bet she talks to us through her telly.
John, that's what I was doing at home yesterday. Watching you, sat sewing.
Going, oh, I've got to be on with him tomorrow.
No, it's really nice. It's really nice to be able to do that, because normally I'm just on
your own.
On my
and there
own,
I
on
am,
my
whittering
Todd.
in the corner of your room.
I love it. I love it.
We'll do that. Da, 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 da. Oh, you should be old enough to know what that means. Tea Party Bunting panel. I love this because the gorgeous colours. So just stitch. Oh, now that there are people. I said, didn't I? If you don't want more than one, multi-buy. We've got lots and lots of multi-buyers coming in at £6.95. Let me know where you're going to be hanging yours when they're made. I'd love to know. Garden party, barbecue. What else? All sorts of things, really. Baby showers, weddings, any kind of party, any celebration, really.
And you can make them and give them to people, you know, to just go in and give this to a school, you know, for them to use when they're having a little sale or something like that. You know, it's just a really nice decorative thing.
Yes,
Who
that's
doesn't?
nice. That's very generous of you. Are you on the PTA committee?
Do you know, I happen to be on the PTA committee.
So you still have PTA committee meetings?
I am.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're going around every single one of these.
So I'm just going around every single one, yeah. So it's a nice meditative, you know, you're just doing straight stitching all the time, and you're not having to worry. You're just going right to the edges, doing a little back stitch at the start and the end when you get to the edges. And
somebody just asked about the red scissors again. They're right-handed scissors, obviously. Well, not obviously at all, because we have left-handed people. These are the right, so don't buy these if you're left-handed, basically. They're really lovely, aren't they? They're gorgeous. Class right-handed tailor shears, 20 centimetres, £21.95. Lovely way. They're a kind of a traditional scissor, aren't they, these? They're kind of old-fashioned traditional with that lovely enamel handle there in that gorgeous red. Nice weight to them as well. If you like, they've got adjustable joints, that's there. And a double locking nut. That's this one here. Really, really gorgeous. Beautiful. It's what finish? Oh, it's a nickel, chrome and nickel finish, these. That's nice. £21.95. A lot of you are asking what the patterns are like. Do you mind if I leave you for just one second?
No, that's fine. I'll just carry on.
Just to show you the panel, because all the different colours that are on the panel are here, like this, you see. Just so you get all of this is the panel. This is what you get for your £6.95. It's 60 centimetres by 112 centimetres. You get all of that. All of that. You get the polka dots. You get the teapots. You get the stripes. You get the cherries. You get more ginghams. You get more spots. We're doing a very slow pan down on this one so you can see them all. They're apparently I've never seen blue ice cream before. Ice cream tones. No. I don't eat ice cream though, do I? See. Pistachio accents. Don't eat nuts.
I don't eat ice cream.
Oh, strawberries.
Either,
I eat strawberries.
You get that bubblegum ice cream that's blue, don't you? Bubblegum.
Bubblegum ice cream that's blue.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the whole panel. That's the bunting you can make out of it for £6.95. Like I just said, 60 centimetres by 112 centimetres there. So anyway, I'll just put that back. Oh, now the one we're doing there is teamed with this gorgeous flamingo fabric. This is from the Spectrum range, right? £3.25 for half a metre. Now, when you buy fabric, when you buy this Spectrum fabric here, it arrives in the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful box. It's £3.25 for half a metre. Remember, we sell in half metre increments. Oh, I wasn't quite ready then. It arrives. Now, this is when you buy fabric, right? When you buy the fabric, it will come in a box like this, beautifully wrapped in tissue paper, and it's even got one of those, you don't need to go to it with scissors. You can just rip open the strip at the bottom, and it's there. It's really, really lovely. £3.25 for half a metre of the Macau. And now, if you don't want pink, if you're thinking, I do not want pink bunting, John Scott, I do not want pink. If you go to the website, go to the web shop, you will see we have the Makua Spectrum Solid Fabrics at £3.25 in so many different colours. You could choose. You could have the green, you could have the pink, the blue, all the beautiful, beautiful colours you've got there. You can choose. You can choose at £3.25. Now, also, if you want to see any fabrics from early, if you go to the website, you see from the show earlier where the bag that we made with Lucy earlier, there's all the fabric we used for the bag. There's the book from earlier as well there. And there's oh, it's moved to the bottom now. There's the bunting panel, which was at the top, but it's now back at the bottom. Obviously, it's not little like that. You get the full 60 by 112 centimetre one there. Really, really lovely. So if you missed anything from the whole day, you can go to the website. And if you've missed any of the shows this morning and you want to watch them, you can go to the website, and the show is just repeated on a loop now, because we're just doing 4 hours at the moment. It's repeated on a loop, on a loop, on a loop, until tomorrow morning's show, and then we'll start again. It won't be me tomorrow, it's Natasha back in tomorrow morning.
And I have to tell you, John, yesterday you pointed out that because it's on a loop, you know, the 8 o'clock show is on again at 12. That hadn't even occurred to me.
What do you mean?
Like, I hadn't realised, you know, I knew it was on a loop, but I didn't think about, I can work out what
Working
time
out where
I want to...
Yes. So the 8 o'clock will be at 12 o'clock, it'll be at 4 o'clock, it'll be at 8 o'clock at night, and it'll be at midnight and 4 o'clock in the morning.
So which makes sense and is helpful to people if they want to watch a particular
show, exactly. Because you can work it out from
see what time it is.
On the website, there's the schedule of programmes and everything like that. So how are you doing with that? Shall we see you just watch your...
Fine, yeah. I'm just taking my time. I'm just enjoying it. As I'm going along, I take the pins out because you've got to move it around, to get the different angles, so you don't want to scratch yourself. So just doing the last one.
Gorgeous Tea Party bunting panel from the Tea Party range. We're just seeing Lucy there. Actually, you've got the pink fabric underneath, the backing fabric underneath, and just going round, and all of them together. She hasn't separated them. She's literally got a panel. Not the whole panel, she's cut the panel in half lengthways, and then she's just stitching around each of the flags to create the bunting. This is the final one. This is the final one now. That's what you make. That's what you can make out of it, because we'll be showing you next. You've got about 15 minutes, that's all right, isn't it? We'll be making the binding, showing you how to make the binding and actually attach the flags to the actual binding in a second. So that's that done.
So take out my pins. And then we're just going to trim these up.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the rotary cutter and the ruler again.
Ruler.
For me, this is just more convenient. It's easier, quicker. If you're more comfortable, of course, you can use scissors. So I'm just lining up the 1/4 inch mark, which has handily got a big yellow stripe on this particular ruler, along my stitching.
So you're just really cutting the 1/4 inch seam allowance now, but you've already done the seaming.
Yes.
The thing is, if you're making bunting for a carnival and you've got, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flags to make, the rotary cutter and the ruler is because if you think of the scissors, whereas this is like slice one side, slice one side, slice one side, isn't it?
Exactly.
Add the rotary cutters or the ruler that you're seeing on the screen there. Just add them to your basket. It's 1 P&P for the whole day, remember. Now, I do need to reiterate, if you want to put these in your basket now, you need to go to the watch us live on telly page of the website. You can also go to the web shop, but at the moment, in the web shop, you won't see the items that we're playing today because they're on a different schedule. So just buy them as we're playing it live. Oh, and you know what? If all of that, if I've just confused you even more, just ring the call centre, 0800 112 4433. They'll help you out. They will help you out there. But remember, you must check out your baskets. That's really important. If you buy something, say you bought something earlier, check that one out. And then if you want, suddenly thought, I want to buy this bunting panel, check that out as well, because you only pay, we consolidate it all at midnight, so you only pay 1 P&P. So don't be thinking every time you check out your basket, because I know some companies, every time you check out your basket, you get charged your P&P. Not here, it gets consolidated at midnight. So
let's find a nice teapot one. So I've trimmed it one way, facing me, and then I'm just going to trim it off the other way. And so you just do this for all of your flags.
Yep.
And then, I've not got...
What are you doing?
I don't know.
It's been a long day.
I'm running out of energy. I need more caffeine. So that's that. And then I'm just going to trim off the corner again, the point, again, like I did before. just going quite close to the stitches, but not too close. You don't want to cut into the stitching there.
What you're seeing here is the Tea Party bunting panel from the Tea Party range at Macau. Because it's Macau, you know it's going to be good quality, don't you? The fabric, because if this was not a good quality, these wouldn't be as easy to make, would they?
No, and I've just been looking at the range of all the different solid colours that we have, and it is a beautiful quality fabric. It's really, really lovely. And there are so many different
colours. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's it.
Lots of choice.
So you're seeing on the panel there, that on the A-frame there, you're seeing the Tea Party bunting. And then if we just, is that a still or is that a camera? Oh, right. Just need to see the flamingo fabric that's underneath it, which we're using as the background, the backing sort of thing. I'll just wait for that to it's £3.25 for half metre. The flamingo, the Spectrum solid fabric, there you go, the solid fabric, that is the flamingo, £3.25. All the information at the bottom, on the bottom graphic there, also available. Right, back to the gorgeous quality bunting.
Okay, so give that a press. If you choose to, you could
top stitch
it if you want to. And then we just need to trim off dog ears, the little dog ear.
Is that a technical
corner
term?
Points. It's what quilters call it.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, we call them dog ears. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you could pass me that other one we made earlier.
Oh, one I made earlier,
one.
yes.
Yes.
Has that got dog ears on it as well?
That one's got dog ears on it as well. So we just look like little dog ears. So we just chop those off, just so the top is nice and straight when we come to put it on the binding.
Gorgeous, isn't it? It's going to be lovely because the summer it's only around the corner. It was sunny yesterday here in Birmingham, yesterday afternoon. It's dark when we come in the morning, so I don't know what it's doing today. Because they said yesterday we were going to have that -12 snowstorm. I was ready for all of that. Really? You know, the big coat, the boots and everything. Got out then, it was beautiful and sunshiny. But anyway, back to the bunting.
Okay, so we're going to attach it to the binding. So I've prepared the binding strips. I do this. I like to do loads. You know, I'll sit and have a session of making binding. Obviously, I need a lot of binding for quilts. And if you're making the bunting, you want nice.
Do your children
long
ever
lengths.
see you?
So, yes, of course they do. They're at school. They're not at home
of course.
anymore.
I forget that.
They're school age.
I'm thinking of them like when they were, little.
No.
Okay, so you just make lots and lots and lots of
So
binding.
I just make lots in one session. For this, I've cut the strips at 2 inches. So the solid fabric, I cut the strips 2 inches. So if you can just show on the top of one of the flags there. So then you've got about a half an inch on the top of the binding. If you wanted to do it, if you're very comfortable doing binding, if you wanted to do it slimmer, you could do. But I think that's just a good size. And also you're going to be hiding that seam that's at the top of the flags. You could cut that off if you chose to.
Exactly. Oh, yes. But you can put it in there. The colour's gorgeous. This is the flamingo, remember? The flamingo, the Spectrum flamingo, which is £3.25. It's coming up down there. £3.25 for half a metre. Really lovely. And then these are from the bunting panel, which you're seeing the details of here. Okay, so you cut a strip of...
So I just cut straight, width of the fabric.
So it's straight, it's not bias, it's on the straight.
It's on the straight, and made the binding. So I cut strips, and I put them together at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
So one is this way, one is this way.
Yes.
So diagonally. And then that's it. I press the seams open because I'm a quilter and that's my habit.
Lots of multi-buyers here today. So before we do that, Jill, wait a minute, Jill, I'll be with you in a second. We're just going to see how to use the bias binding maker, which is what we've got in stock. We have different sizes. Of bias binding makers, but are they easy to use?
They're very easy, yes. And if you are making a lot of binding, you definitely need them. If you're making bias binding, they're practically crucial because if you're trying to make it yourself and do the folds, you're going to stretch the binding a lot when you're making it. So for bias binding, they're absolutely crucial. For straight binding, it just makes life easier and quicker. Sorry,
this is the 25mm one here. That's £11.95. That's an inch width, that one.
So that's an inch width, and whatever width the bias tape maker is, you cut your binding double.
Twice. So that's 50 millimetres, so that's 2 inches.
Yes.
Yeah, which is what you've done
Which
here.
is what I've done. So
how'd
that's
you get
cut
that in
at
there?
2 inches. So could you pass me a pin?
A pin? A glass-headed pin?
So The way I like to do it is to feed the fabric in. You can cut your fabric at an angle if that makes it easier for you.
Yeah.
And then feed it in, and you'll see in there's a channel.
Yes.
A little channel. So I just poke a pin in and push the fabric, of course being on live telly, through like that, and feed it out.
Oh. And then so when it comes through this end,
Yes.
do you have your iron at this end? And
Yes. So I like to take, I do it on my ironing board.
Really?
That would be a sensible place to do it.
Absolutely.
And I do it actually like this. So this bit, pretend this bit
It's flat.
is flat. And what I do is I get a safety pin and I pin this part to my ironing board.
Oh.
Okay?
Yes.
This is getting serious.
Yes.
So I pin that to my ironing board because when you start to move this, you know, it moves all over the place and you've got a hot iron and you don't want to worry about this end going anywhere.
Yeah. Or you could get your husband to hold that end if he was at home.
Yes. So because these are weighty scissors, I'm going to pretend that's that.
Okay.
So here's my iron and I just pull and I just press along like that.
And then when you get to the end of the ironing board?
When I get to the end of the ironing board, I go like this and I take that part and pin that part and then just...
And this is why you like to make lots.
And this is why I just make loads.
And then you put it on cardboard pieces like that.
And then I can use it for anything, wrap it around the cardboard.
This here is the 25mm one. We also have it in the 12mm as well, the 12mm size as well, for £10.95. But the one you're seeing here, just ring the call centre and speak to them, or go on the web and pop it in your basket. 0800 112 44 33 or sewingquarter.com. So, OK, we've got a couple of minutes. Oh, no, got a few minutes left. We're fine.
OK, so to make the bunting, you want to leave...
Excess
at the end. So I think I left around about 18 inches, something like that, but you can determine it. You can also, you know, tie this into like a pretty bow.
Well, you've got to have somewhere to attach it to at the end,
but
haven't you, really? Yes.
Also, if you prefer, you could make a loop.
Oh, yes.
So if you didn't want to leave that much and you knew that you had something to hang it on, you could just do a loop and you don't need to leave so much of a tail then.
But you don't always know where you're going to be hanging it.
No,
unless, like you say, it's decorative.
It's handy,
But it's handy to have that, because if you're doing it between two trees at one fete, then you go to the next village and you're like, oh, there's no tree then. You need to, you know.
If you're travelling bunting, you need to
be
versatile, don't you?
Travelling bunting.
So, so I leave a nice excess there at the end. So I would just sort of roughly measure that. Right, I'll leave that like that.
Well, it depends how much you need if you're thinking about it.
Depends how much you need. So I've left my excess there, and then let's take a turn through one.
I was going to say, take one you've made.
Not that one. And so I just line that up with the fold.
Yes.
So I just tuck that over and pin it. So I'd put a pin, just one there and one there. And when you get comfortable, you don't even really need to pin.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm going to pin. I'm going to pin. I'm going to pin for the purposes of this.
Lots of people in. Love it. Lots of people, Lucy, telling them how much they love in your show. Lots of names. Go. Doreen, Judith, Edna,
Hello.
Jill, Sheila, Madeline,
so
Jackie, Patricia. All right, she's got enough, you know, I'm not going to fit on the screen with her at this rate.
It's lovely to hear about people that are watching.
Now, remember, we're using the Tea Party bunting panel to make these gorgeous bunting.
If you have a long length and you want to make your bunting go a bit further, you can leave a bigger gap. If you
don't want sparse-looking bunting.
But you don't. No, you don't want it very sparse. But you can, you know, be a bit generous if you want to. But I just leave a finger width.
Oh, right.
So that's how I measure it. From the corner of the bunting to the corner of the bunting, just about a finger. And then I'd put that one on there. So when you get used to it, you can just be tucking it under as you're going along.
Yes. Oh,
because doing, you know, if you're making reams and reams of it, to be pinning every single flag would take up too much time. So. And also, if you're not sure to begin with, you might want to pin them all to see it's the right length, or see that you've got them in, because you don't want two pink dots together or whatever. Just check you haven't done that. Yeah.
Right. So then you top stitch along there.
So I have pinned it in totally the wrong way, but never mind, I'll make it work. So to get the end, I'm just folding over the edge. It's a bit generous there. Just folding over the edge of the binding by 1/4 inch, and just tucking that in and folding it in half. So that's going to keep, just tuck those little corners in there. So that's going to give a nice, neat
and then you're just going to top
binding.
stitch on. While you top stitch there, I can still talk while you're top stitching.
Okay.
Now remember, we go off air at 12 o'clock, but if you've missed anything at all, you can go to the website, www.sewingquarter.com, and you can watch the show on loop. So at 12 o'clock, when I come off air from this one, you'll then be able to see the 8 o'clock show, and like that all the way through till tomorrow morning, when Natasha will be here with you with 4 hours of live television tomorrow morning. Remember, we've got the Tea Party Bunting. Oh, right, there you go. Sorry, there's the website there. So what you do is you can just watch it. You can just watch it for the next, right through way through until tomorrow morning. That's www.sewingquarter.com. Anyway, so I said Natasha's in tomorrow. As you top stitch along that ribbon, remember what we've used here today is the Tea Party bunting panel from the Tea Party range from Makawa. 60 centimetres by 100. That's the finished item. It doesn't come like that. It comes as a panel. There, £6.95 on that lovely panel. You can get 16, if you back it with another fabric, you can get 16 flags out of it, but you could back it with each other and you can make 8 lovely ones. And then the pink fabric underneath there, which is what Lucy's used to make her binding with, and the backing of the other one, that is the Makawa Flamingo Spectrum solid fabric in the flamingo pink, obviously, but if you want any other colour, we sell it in the quality is out of this world. If you want plain fabrics for your stash, go to the website and see those because they are amazing. £3.25 for half a metre. Remember, because we sell our fabric in half-metre increments. Right, so we'll just now watch Lucy carrying on with the... Now, it's not a bias binding, it's a straight binding, isn't it?
It's just a straight binding, yes. And I've done that trick where I've moved my needle over to the left. So I'm doing the edge of the binding is running through the centre of the foot. And because my needle is over to the left, it means I just get a nice straight line, and you just do that adjusting the width on your sewing machine.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm going to have to say goodbye to Lucy now because we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you. It's a pleasure as always.
John.
And I'll sit and watch you tomorrow. You're on tomorrow, aren't you? No?
No.
I thought you were on tomorrow. When you're next?
No, 18th.
18th. Oh, I think I'm on the 18th. Now, if you've missed out on anything today, remember you can watch us again on the web for going round in a loop right the way till tomorrow morning. I'll be back on Saturday. I'm back on Saturday and Sunday. I'm doing the weekend shows. Thank you so much for your company. I've had a lovely week with you this week. If you've missed anything, just ring the call centre, 0800 112 44 33. Go on the website and see anything there. Thank you for all your messages. Thank you for all your encouragement. I will see you on Saturday. Have a lovely day.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter.